Good morning, everyone. There was just an announcement on the news that Jeffrey Epstein had committed suicide by hanging in his cell. So I just wanted to draw some cards and see if there's any clarification about this. Like, was that a suicide? Was it an accidental suicide because he was known to have certain sexual practices where you try to hang yourself and get sexual highs on that? So was this an accidental suicide? Was it a true suicide? Or, or was it a murder? Or was it a matter of them not watching him? Because after a potential suicide attempt before, I thought the man was on a suicide watch. And so for this to happen does not make any sense. All the conspiracy theorists are going to be having a field day with this one. Oh, interesting, the card that falls out is about people kind of fighting and figuring out what to do. So I'll put that back in there. But was it a lot of guilty people trying to get together using their powers to just make sure nobody was watching him? So let's see if the cards can tell me anything. I mean, I'm very new at this, so I don't know if I can interpret what happens. But I've asked on my guides and Lord Michael to please help me and use the cards to give some clarification. Did this man truly commit suicide? Was it something that they just allowed to happen because they wanted him to commit suicide, or was it a murder? So please tell me through the cards, please tell us. Just do 3-card reading here. Page of Cups. So let's find out. Uh-oh, first card. Obviously, the man was very depressed, naturally. Ace of Cups, that does make sense to me, emotions. And there's the same card that fell out. Now maybe somebody else can interpret these cards better than I. Let me see what it says here. I don't see how the Ace of Cups would relate to this, because aces are always about beginnings. Cups are about emotions. So let me check my book. Now, the dove in the Ace of Cups, it said it relates to higher realms. So, it's certainly a spiritual card. But it's a card about staying emotionally open. So certainly he was feeling his emotions if he did commit suicide. If the card is reversed, it's someone who is afraid of feeling their own emotions. So this is interesting. Well, let me do clarification here. To me, this represents a lot of people who were in his little black book that they found, not deciding what to do about this. But that certainly doesn't clarify it for me. Obviously, he was depressed, bad dreams. So to me, the first card indicates that it was suicide. But what about the authorities who were supposed to be watching him? What about the authorities who were supposed to be watching him? Was this disagreement? Was this possibly disagreement within the authorities of the jail and who were giving orders to the people in the jail what to do about him? Did somebody want them to just remove the suicide watch? Because obviously they failed. They failed him and they failed society. by allowing this man to commit suicide? Why was he allowed to have materials that could allow him to hang himself? So let me just check the cards again. The bottom card, to me, that's about collusion in this instance. Meetings about collusion. And a King of Cups is coming up. So I don't know who represents the King of Cups, but I think someone, yeah, a Knight of Pentacles, yeah. So I don't know. So anyway, this is what the cards brought. So if somebody else can interpret these cards for me, because I certainly am not able to get a proper clarification on this, other than I think he did commit suicide because of his state of mind. But I'll put it out there just for other people to give their input on it. I only wanted to do a 3-card draw, but I have no idea what the King of Cups in this instance might mean. So anyway, thank you everybody for at least tuning in, and it's a very sad day. It's a very sad day that this can happen in our jails, especially with such a high-profile person, and with so many other very famous people obviously involved, from lawyers to politicians in both parties, and very high-end people in industry. There's much to come out about this, and now I think it makes it even more imperative that they continue these investigations to find out the whole truth about this man, whatever his blackmail schemes were, the woman who loved him supposedly, and who was his madam, who trained these girls for him. It will be interesting to see whether she now gets quieter and just lets herself get thrown in jail for decades, or whether or not her feelings for him want revenge and she'll talk like a canary. It all remains to be seen. So everybody, I wish you well. I wish you a wonderful day, a wonderful life. Take care. Namaste, everyone.